Big breaking news in a 3-year legal fight by News 4. Less than 30 minutes ago, new documents unsealed. Documents from the Uvalde School District surrounding the 2022 mass shooting at Robb Elementary that killed 21 people. We fought for you and won the unsealing of those records. Thanks for joining us this Monday. I'm Jonathan Martinez.
I'm Mandy Noel. The release of information just minutes ago from the Uvalde CISD. We start our team coverage tonight with the News 4 I-Team's Jordan Elder.
Just a couple of minutes ago is when they dropped in. What have we learned so far, Jordan?
So we've been able to start going over these documents. We now have access to emails, texts, personnel records for several Uvalde CISD employees, including the officers now facing charges of child endangerment. So I want to start with former Chief Pete Arredondo. We got access to his personnel file, and we learned that Arredondo had just re-signed a contract in April of 2022. That's a month before the shooting, cementing his role as the district police chief for another school year. We also saw a monthly summary to a program called Social Sentinel. That is a program that monitors social media for threats, specifically for districts. These records show that Arredondo logged in 3 views from May 1st to May 31st, 2022. We know from our previous reporting that the shooter had been posting questionable things on social media. Another email shows that Arredondo was seeking quotes from Motorola for communication equipment. That was in January, 4 months before the shooting. We know that radios were a huge issue that day. Arredondo even saying at one point he left his radio in his vehicle because he knew that it wasn't going to work in Robb Elementary. There are also things like presentations on emergency procedures. So again, just minutes ago we got these documents, so we're still actively looking through this folder as it refreshes.
All right, as we know with this tragedy, as ways it's associated, we know that only 2 people so far charged, and then as we understand there's already a change of venue being requested for at least 1.
Yes, and we knew that was coming. So former police officer for Uvalde CISD, Adrian Gonzalez, is charged with 29 counts of child endangerment. That is for all of the children that survived and all of the children that did not. So his attorney has now filed a change of venue motion, which means they don't want the trial to take place in Uvalde. Essentially, they say they don't feel like they can get a fair trial in that area. And we knew that was coming. His attorney told us in December that they were going to do that. But when I spoke to the attorney for Pete Arredondo, the former chief, Paul Looney, he mentioned that they didn't want to do that. He said that they wanted the trial to be in Uvalde. So it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out, because again, they're the only 2 that have been charged so far.
All right, we'll tell you what, a lot more documents to go over. We'll go ahead and let you finish that. Jordan, thank you. Great reporting there. This is just the latest step in our more than 3-year legal fight to win the release of these documents that have been kept out of the public view so far. Back in January of 24, the Department of Justice released its report into the Robb Elementary shooting.
Just about a year ago, the city of Uvalde released all of its information, including hours of video from officers on the scene. Last September, Customs and Border Protection released its records.
We're also getting reaction from family members in Uvalde about the release of the information.
Some of them upset with the way this has all played out. News 4 San Antonio's Matt Roy is live in Uvalde tonight with their reaction.
Yeah, Mandy, Jonathan, we've had big dumps of information like this before. The Customs and Border Patrol, the Department of Justice, the city last year releasing their documents. And every time the families ask for one thing, they would like to see them first before the public or the media get their hands on them. This time, once again, that did not happen. Some of the families are also divided on whether they wanted this information out in the open to begin with. There's a handful of families who are doing their best to move on, and they don't want to continuously find out more information about the worst day of their lives. But according to Jesse Rizzo, who is the uncle of Jackie Casares and a member of the UCISD school board, most of the families wanted this information out, and he had to respect that.
Majority of them wanted this information released, and I just hope that one day that it helps them heal in some sense, And I know it's tough. Honestly, as I sit here at the plaza and I look at the crosses, right, it's a daily reminder of what we've been through, and so I think together we can work through this issue as well.
Rizzo and some of the other family members that I spoke to today are hoping that the release will help them heal and give them some closure as well. Now, Rizzo is hopeful that the release of this and the county releasing their documents either tonight or tomorrow will help the county and the district and the city kind of meld the bridges that have been burned by this whole tragedy from a couple of years ago with the community, and everyone can start anew and try and move forward. Reporting live in Uvalde, I'm Matt Roy, News 4 San Antonio.
All right, Matt, thank you for that. Now, these documents include a lot new details about the shooter, Salvador Ramos.
We continue our team coverage with Yami Virgin with our sister station, Fox SA. You've been looking through what this shows about the shooter, Yami.
That's right, and we just received these documents. We had waited all day for the files that we received about 25 minutes ago. Part of the documents include the shooter's school records. Now, looking at those, we can see that he had disciplinary history dating way back, starting between 2018 and 2021. In March of 2018, he was written up for using sexual and derogatory language, using the word gay and calling people names. After repeatedly being told to stop, he also made inappropriate gestures to a teacher, and he also made a sign using his hand to that teacher. He ended up getting in-school suspension. 2018, he was approached by another student and the shooter hit him in the arm. The other student reacted by kicking him, and that incident was reportedly motivated by the belief that the student had snitched on the shooter. He received an out-of-school suspension for 2 days. Then in May of 2018, he received an in-school suspension again for drawing inappropriate pictures. In 2021, he was then withdrawn from school due to poor attendance. Now, when we look at the rest of the records, we're seeing that the shooter was classified as being a student at risk based on poor academic performance, including failing to meet readiness standards in early grades and failing 2 or more courses in grades 7 through 12. We're going to keep going through all these records, and we'll have more later tonight at 10.
All right, Yami, we will see you then. We also pressed the Texas Department of Public Safety once again today to release its records as well. Since 2022, they have been fighting any release every step of the way. They had dozens of state troopers on the scene that day and were a major presence in law enforcement response, and they reportedly have more than 2 terabytes of information. They did not respond to our request today.
We will continue to follow this story for you and bring you the latest breaking developments on all our platforms, online, on Facebook, and on Twitter. And follow us at News 4 San Antonio.